Hi, Hotties. Welcome back to Hoops for Hotties, where I give you all of the sports news you need to know in a way that actually makes sense for the girls, the gays, the days, and the straight men who don't admit they're not actually watching sports. There is so much going on in every single sport that when I sat down today and I was deciding what to talk about on this week's episode of Hoops for Hotties, I was so overwhelmed by options that I was like, let's just sit down, have a key, and talk about every single thing so that the girls are well and updated when they're at work and they're standing by the coffee maker and all the boys are talking about what happened in the big game this weekend. You know what the hell is going on. WNBA postseason awards were given out last week. The postseason awards are super exciting for players and coaches honoring their work during the regular season. It has nothing to do with the playoffs. I'm going to go through each award, tell you who won it, and tell you what the award means if it's not self-explanatory by the title. Come on, Hotties, let's use our brains. Okay, first and foremost, most improved player. This is given out to the player that has improved the most from last season to this season. So honoring their work in the offseason to improve their game. That award was given to Veronica Burton of the Golden State Valkyries. Then you've got Coach of the Year. The best coach of the year during the regular season went to Natalie Nakase of the Golden State Valkyries. They had a historic season. It came to an end, unfortunately, this week. They were playing in the playoffs against the Minnesota Lynx, who are just the better team. You guys, they're just the better team. They are probably going to win the championship. So the Valkyries need to be very proud of themselves and everything that they did throughout the season, breaking attendance records, breaking so many records, doing things that expansion teams, first-time teams in the WNBA have never done before. So applause to them and congratulations on their postseason award success. Then we've got sixth player of the year, sixth woman of the year. This went to Naz Hillman of the Atlanta Dream. Yeah. Go Dream. I went to the Atlanta Dream game last week, last minute. They sent me some tickets. They were gracious enough. They told me they were going to get me a basketball jersey. So I will be waiting on that ATL. And it was a lot of fun. The energy was crazy in there. They were playing the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark, without Sophie Cunningham, who some of you may know as MAGA Barbie, without really their whole roster. There were so many players on the Indiana Fever that were hurt that some of them were sitting in the stands with the fans. Like, guys, their whole roster was hurt, which means that their bench mob, as they call it, as Caitlin Clark called it, we're going to get into a little bit of tea about the bench mob towards the end of the show. However, they were going nuts. I mean, Sophie Cunningham was literally walking onto the court like she was going to check in and play. It was a little bit como se dice, excessive. However, I have to admire the energy. I have a whole other side of thoughts about that later, but congratulations to the Atlanta Dream on an amazing season. However, I am so disappointed in the way that it ended. Like, guys, if that is not the most Atlanta sports shit I have ever heard, also some other drama about Atlanta sports. I'm going to be like really ranting about Atlanta sports throughout this episode, but for now, we're keeping it happy. Congratulations, Naz. You deserved it more than anyone else. Everybody kind of knew she was going to win it. So congratulations to her. Moving on to Rookie of the Year. The best newbie, the best freshman in the league went to none other than the number one pick in the WNBA draft, Paige Beckers. And it wasn't even close. I mean, I believe only two of the voters voted for Sonia Citron. And some people were upset. Some people felt like Sonia should have gotten more love in the voting. I saw a lot of tweets about how people felt like she wasn't honored for her work this season well enough in a way that she should have been. You guys are delusional. Babies, you guys are delusional. Paige Beckers exceeded expectations and well deserved this award. She had an incredible season and she received the award on the Jennifer Hudson show. Like, she did the little tunnel. You know how people be doing the little tunnel dance? And at the end of the tunnel, the commissioner was there to hand her the award in person. It was awesome. Next, I want to give a very special shout out to the winner of the Most Valuable Player award in the WNBA this season. And that award went to Asia Wilson. You guys, Asia winning this award is absolutely insane because for just about the entire season, everyone thought Nafisa Collier was going to win this award from the Minnesota Lynx. She had an incredible season. Their team was so dominant, but then she got hurt. and she was out for a considerable amount of games, and her team still rose without her. They still played incredible. If you don't know, the Minnesota Lynx are the team that the Stud Buds play for, okay? They had a great season without her. They got Dejanay Carrington from the Dallas Wings, who is an absolute baddie, an absolute star on the court, an absolute spark of energy for them. They looked great without MVP, Nafisa Collier. So great that it was like, is she the MVP or is her team just like that? And then Asia Wilson had a moment with her team where they got absolutely killed, y'all. Absolutely thrashed, okay? Absolutely killed and embarrassed in a game. And she looked at her team and said, if you're not embarrassed, don't come back to the arena. If you're not embarrassed, I don't want to see you in those tennis shoes again. She didn't say that, but she should have. That would have ate. She looked at them and said, y'all suck. If you don't improve, I'm out. She didn't say all that, but she basically gave them the whooping that they needed. And instead of crying about it, I'm looking at you, Chicago Sky. Instead of crying about it and whining and saying, oh, she called us out, they went 17 games straight without losing. That's how you respond to adversity, okay? And behind the effort of Asia Wilson, multiple 30-point crazy performances, multiple crazy defensive performances, multiple performances where she's doing everything she needs to do on both sides of the ball. Asia Wilson went absolutely nuts in the second half of the season. And by the end, everyone knew she was going to win the MVP award. What people were worried about is her winning it, in a tie with Nafisa Collier. For some reason, the WNBA thought it would be a good idea to honor two women as co-defensive players of the year. They honored Asia Wilson with Alana Smith from the Minnesota Lynx as co-defensive player of the years. This is the first award in history for the WNBA to be split. This is a little bit of a head scratcher for me. I don't know if this has ever happened in NBA history or in man sports ever, but this feels very much like a participation trophy, girly pop sort of thing. Like, kumbaya, but this is sports. This is sports. I know that the stats showed that one of them was better. It's not hard to go through and decide which one of them should win the award and who deserves it more. It's sports. It's a numbers game. It's not an opinion sort of thing. So that really bothered me. A lot of people were expecting Asia Wilson to get it outright, especially since she led the leagues in blocks per game and all of the other statistical categories that she dominated in. It's cool for both of them to win it, I guess. Like, they both deserve it in their own right, but I think it's absolutely ridiculous to expect an athlete to share an honor of that magnitude with somebody else. They needed to pick somebody to win the award and go through the stats and make a decision and stick to it. That felt like a cop-out to me by the league, and it's embarrassing and it's not cute. Back to MVP. Thank God this wasn't a co-award, because I was really worried they were going to do that with Asia and Fee, and I would have lost my shit. That would have been so stupid to me. So for those who don't pay close attention to the WNBA, it might seem like Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese or Paige Beckers is like the GOAT of the WNBA, which is crazy. Because if you do actually watch the WNBA, you will know that Asia Wilson is by far the GOAT of the WNBA. At least I would say so. I know it's early, which is crazy to say. She's only 29 years old, but she's cementing herself as the greatest of all time, and she still has time to go. I'm going to give you a quick snapshot of how good Asia Wilson is actually. Asia Wilson is a 4-time WNBA MVP. She won it in 2020, 2022, 2024, and 2025 back-to-back. She's a 2-time WNBA champion, winning the championship back-to-back in 2022 and 2023. She was the WNBA Finals MVP in 2023. She's a 3-time WNBA Defensive Player of the Year. In order to be an MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year in your career, that means that not only are you scoring the ball at such a high level to be the most valuable player on your team, you are also defending on the other side of the court at a high level, which means that Asia Wilson be in that gym. That's exactly what that means, because that means she never takes a break. That means, especially this season when she won the Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP in the same season, that means that she's not resting on defense. That girl's going hard every single minute that she's in the game, which makes her accolades that much more impressive. She was a part of the All-WNBA first team 4 times, which means that she was one of the best players in the WNBA 4 years, which makes sense because, she's been WNBA MVP 4 times, so duh. And I don't even know if all WNBA first team is out. I'm recording this video on a Monday. I don't even know if that's out for this year yet. So that'll probably go up to 5 times. A 7-time WNBA All-Star. In 2018, she was the WNBA's Rookie of the Year, and she made the WNBA All-Rookie team. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. She won the FIBA Olympic Basketball Women's MVP. I feel like I tongue twisted that, but you get the point. That makes her the best player in the world. She won 2 gold medals in the World Cup. And she literally went so crazy in college that she has a statue built of herself outside of the University of South Carolina at the ripe age of 29 years old. She has a statue built of herself. Usually you have to have gray hairs to have a statue built of yourself anywhere. And that girl still has a 2 in front of her age. That's crazy, y'all. Now let's talk about the NFL's Week 3 winners and losers. I believe we're on Week 3. I'm playing fantasy and that shit is kicking my ass, you guys. I didn't realize fantasy football was like a full-time job, but we're not here to rant about that. The winners of this week are Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. They finally got a win, y'all, and Caleb was the reason. He played incredibly, and it's finally nice to see this kid that like paints his nails in an NFL man's boys league that's constantly getting trashed and made fun of. And he has been in so many situations since he's been in the NFL, so many different offensive coordinators and coaches and situations. And it's just been a mess in Chicago for him. So to see him have a good game is really good for his reputation with the fans in Chicago, with his teammates, getting them to trust him, getting him to trust himself. I'm sure this is a huge confidence booster. They definitely are a winner from this week. And not only that, it was a big win against the Dallas Cowboys. Caleb looked like the generational talent everybody's been saying he was going to be. And their new head coach, Ben Johnson, seems to really be turning things around. Another winner from this week of football are the Washington, now called Commanders because their previous name was racist. Yes, Marcus Mariota had some big shoes to fill, stepping in for quarterback Jaden Daniels, who is injured. And he led them to a huge win over the Raiders. And the Philadelphia Eagles, okay, after being down against the Rams, they were losing this game, would have led us to have way different conversations on this beautiful Monday morning. However, after being down to the Rams, the Eagles were able to pull off a comeback win, which brings me to my next point. And absolutely one of the most wild plays of the week, Jordan Davis, a absolutely massive defensive tackle from the Philadelphia Eagles, who went to my college, okay, go Dogs, and did this in college. So shouldn't be a surprise to the Bulldogs out there. But to the world, this 336-pound man blocked a field goal that could have won the game for the Rams, then picked that ball up himself and ran it into the end zone for a touchdown. And this 336-pound man was running over 18 miles per hour. Like, to put this in perspective, you know when you get on a treadmill and you hit, the miles per hour that you want to run? Imagine hitting 18 and sustaining that in an NFL game outside with all that padding at 336 pounds. That's insane. Some losers from this week of football are the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones talking about some damn, they're still a playoff team. I think his site is going next because no, they are not with that defense. I mean, I was watching the highlights before I recorded this, and when I say those players were wide open to catch that football in the end zone, there was no defense. Nobody even cared. And if you watched one of my previous videos where I describe what each position does on the field, and I describe the defense and how they're supposed to make like a wall and stop the offense from being able to score and get further down the field, they didn't make like a wall. They made like what's see-through? What's so easy to get through? Like, I don't even know. They made like a swimming pool. They made like a embarrassing defensive football team. It was terrible, y'all. Their very expensive quarterback, Dak Prescott, had a rough game with 2 picks, and it was not a good look for the Dallas Cowboys. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers debuted their creamsicle throwback uniforms from their inaugural 1976 season this week. I really appreciate the history, don't appreciate the uniforms. I'm sorry, but these are so bad. They're so ugly. I don't know. I don't like it. Speaking of the Bucs, though, and more positive news, Baker Mayfield is in his comeback era. He's absolutely thriving. The Bucs are now 3-0 for the first time since 2005 to start the season. And Baker has led them to 2 different game-winning drives in the final minute of the game this season. He's absolutely resurrected his football career since being in Tampa and is proving all of his doubters wrong. And I love that for him. This is a former number one pick. Let's put some respect on his name, okay? I didn't watch college football this Saturday. I'm not gonna lie. My boyfriend took me on a date actually. If you follow me on TikTok, you know I've been obsessed with F1 and he took me to Andretti to drive cars. And let's just say I'm not giving Lewis Hamilton. I'm giving very much old lady in the right lane of the highway. However, I had the time of my life. But I did see the viral clip of the UAB coach on his phone on the sidelines. I was like, what is the coach doing texting on the sideline? No way he's like scrolling through TikTok or like looking at Facebook memes or whatever like older men do on their phones in the middle of doing his job, which he just like me for real scrolling through his phone while he's at work. But it turns out that he was FaceTiming and talking to his daughter who was about to give birth during the game. Honestly, it was like a real girl dad moment. It's really wholesome and cute. Now for the beef that everyone's been absolutely begging me to talk about. So Patrick Beverley and Trae Young. This beef has been brewing for a while, but Patrick Beverley went on his podcast trash talking Trae Young, saying that he's a coach killer and that no one wants to play in Atlanta. Trae Young responded with a 12-minute YouTube video clapping back at Beverley. He was being very calm but very savage. And then Beverly doubled down with more trash talk and they went back and forth. My thoughts on the matter are this, y'all. I live in Atlanta. Here's what I'm gonna say. Two things can be true at once. Pat Beverly can be a role player that is talking shit on his podcast, and Trae Young can be a player that did go to the Eastern Conference Finals early in his career and did have a lot of accolades and is very talented, but have there been a lot of head coaches that have been fired while he's been the star player of the Atlanta Hawks? Yes. Have there been a lot of players come and go? Yes. Has he been one of them? No. Do I, as an Atlanta resident and fan of the team, see our ceiling going anything past an Eastern Conference Finals run that kind of we could thank Ben Simmons for because he had a little crash out moment and was too scared? And yeah, so I think that the Hawks, ooh, hot take. I think the Atlanta Hawks have seen their ceiling with Trae Young as the star. I think we've seen where that gets us. I've gotten to the point with the Atlanta Hawks, I barely even know who plays for the team, and I live here. I used to go to all the Hawks games, and now I'm just tired of seeing the same mid product year after year after year after year, and nothing changed. I think that would it be the worst thing for Atlanta to try something other than firing their coach and trading everyone whose name is not Trae Young to a better situation in a place to win a championship? I'll let you guys answer that one. But is Patrick Beverley annoying as shit? Yeah. Y'all, rumor has it that Adele has been approached about performing at halftime during the Super Bowl. I would absolutely love this because I love Adele down, and I do not consider Adele's music to be sad before y'all start. I don't want to listen to sad music in the middle of the Super Bowl. Don't give a fuck. Adele could literally resurrect me from a coma with that voice. I love her so much. That soulful white woman. I love Adele. I actually always listen to Adele when I'm on a plane. For some reason, her voice really calms me and makes me feel soothed and happy. I'm obsessed with her. I wish she did more. Like, I wish I saw more of her. Like, all I want in life is more Adele. I would love for her to perform at halftime at the Super Bowl and have that moment for her career because she has so many hits, so many big songs that everyone loves, and seeing everyone sing along, it'd be a different vibe for the Super Bowl halftime. I would absolutely love that. My dream Super Bowl halftime show, however, is Justin Bieber. I'm sorry, Justin Bieber. I want him bringing out Will I Am on the stage. I want him bringing out fucking Usher on the stage. I want him bringing out all of his collaborators, everybody. Drake. I want right here. I want all of it. Like the throwbacks, the middle. I want the dancing. I want him in that purple ass outfit he used to wear. Like I want it all. The white outfit with the purple shirt. Yes. I need Justin Bieber to perform at Super Bowl halftime. Like that would icing on the cake for me. I don't need to see anybody else after that. Taylor Swift, don't care. I'm not a Swiftie, but I mean, I feel like it would be iconic, but Justin Bieber, that's who I really want to see perform at halftime. And Adele, also a great one. Or like Miley Cyrus. I feel like Miley Cyrus would be a great Super Bowl halftime. Like Party in the USA at the Super Bowl, that'd be iconic. Saquon Barkley got fined $47,000 for an impermissible use of the helmet on a play in week 2 against the Chiefs. The weird thing is, no flag was thrown on the play, but the NFL reviewed it after the fact and decided to fine that man $50,000. I would be so pissed. $50,000. And then on the flip side, Caitlin Clark got fined $200 for an Instagram comment. The WNBA fining them $200. Hilarious. I think Caitlin Clark like pees out $200. Like that girl does not fucking care about giving up $200. But she commented, refs couldn't stop us on an Instagram post about her team's playoff win, which was referring to their bench mob literally like standing on the court and being absolutely obnoxious the whole game. Sophie Cunningham and her bionic leg, and like they were on my nerves. I'm sorry. Like, can't stand the Indiana Fever. No shade. This is sports. I got to keep it real with y'all. I know they're women and I love Caitlin Clark and what she's done for the game, but the Indiana Fever make my ass itch in a bad way. They really get on my nerves. But I love Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell really held it down during that game, and she is so fucking talented. And the Atlanta Dream didn't win when it matters. So can the Fever talk all the shit they want? Hell yeah. Is it kind of funny that Caitlin Clark is literally commenting, refs can't stop us, knowing she'll get fined, knowing the fine will be pocket change and not giving a fuck, and then following up by saying, this is just going to make the bench mob worse. Like, I can't stand them, but I absolutely love it. Like, this is sports. This is what I love to see. This is what I like. Do I like them? No. But do I like this? Yeah, it eats. But prepare to be humbled by the Aces. Please, please, Asia, please. Let's see how these WNBA playoffs shake up because I'm very entertained by them. I'm really confused about everything going on. I need the Aces to beat the Fever. I need to see what the hell goes down. And I'm really enjoying sports right now, y'all. I'm enjoying football. I'm enjoying WNBA. I'm enjoying life. I'm enjoying watching F1 Drive to Survive. So hopefully this gave you a good encompassing recap of what the hell is going on and you enjoyed this. If you want me to go into more detail about anything, let me know, girl. Ask me all the questions you want. I'm an open book. Love you guys so much. Thanks for watching Hoops for Hotties, and make sure to subscribe to keep my lights on, y'all. I need you. I need you very bad. And make sure to send this to a friend that needs to hear about the latest goss in sports, and comment below and let me know what you would like to hear me talk about next, because I read all of them, you guys, and they mean the world to me hearing from y'all. So thank you, YouTube/podcast fam. Love you so much. See you next week.